Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel Testing Gyan. In today's video, we are going to discuss about polymorphism, that how you can achieve polymorphism in Java. So let's understand the ways to achieve polymorphism in Java. So first way to achieve polymorphism in Java is via method overloading. So let's see what method overloading means. So if a class has multiple methods having same name but different in parameters, it is known as method overloading. So let's understand it with an example. So let's say there's a class phone which has two methods, both named as create contact. But first method accepts only name and number, whereas second method accepts name and two numbers. So in your phone also there is an option wherein you can save a name corresponding to one number, and either you can save a name with corresponding to two numbers. So while calling this method in our main method, so the based on the parameter which we passed, it will decide that which function is being called. So if in parameters I'll pass one name and two numbers, then this second create contact function will be called, method will be called. Whereas if I pass one name and one number, then my first create contact method will be called. So it's not only based on the number of parameter, even if data type is different and parameters is same, then also it is called as method overloading. So let's say I have a function which accepts integer number, whereas the same function name accepts floating number. So in that case also it is known as method overloading. Now let's see other way to achieve polymorphism in Java, that is via method overriding. So let's understand what method overriding is. So if a subclass or a child class has the same method as declared in parent class, then it is known as method overriding. Let's understand it with an example. So let's suppose we have a class, animal class, and one more class, that is dog class, which extends animal class. So here animal class in this case is our parent class, whereas dog class is our subclass or child class. So animal class has method named as move, and dog class also has method named as move. So we have overridden the method of parent class in child class. This is known as method overriding. Now if I create a object of this dog class and I call method move, then the method which is there in my dog class will be called, and not which is there in my animal class. Now that we have understood theoretical definition of method overriding and method overloading, let's see how it works in Eclipse. Let me open my Eclipse. So here I am in my Eclipse. Let me create a function. So I am creating a static function so that I don't have to create an object. I can directly call it with class. Public static void and create contact. First method accepts a name and a number. So sys out the name is number is, whereas second method accepts one name and two numbers. Now if I call this method in my main method, that is create contact, and I pass parameters as only my name and one number, put a semicolon over here, and if I run this, let's see which method will be called. So you can see, since I have passed only one name and number, this method is being called. Now in case I pass two numbers over here, Now in this case it is calling this method. Now I explained you about parameters as well as a data type also. Let's see the example of data type as well. Supposedly there is one more method that is create contact only, which instead of integer number accepts double number. So just to avoid any confusion, I am writing the double number over here. Now if I pass this as my parameter, then let's see which method will be called. So you can see that this method has been called. So not only with number of parameter you can achieve method overloading via data type as well. So I hope method overloading is clear. Let's understand method overriding now. Let me create one more class. Let me create a cat class. So here is my cat class. Now let me create one parent class, that is animal class. So here is my animal class. Now I am creating one function in here, public void sound. This out, this is animal sound. Now this cat class extends animal class. Now in this case, if I create object of cat class, cat c equals to new cat, and if I call the sound method, now it is printing, you can see that this is animal sound. Now if I override this sound method in my cat class and I replace this animal with cat, now let me run the same code and let's see what is the output. So you can see now it is printing this is cat sound. So guys, I hope method overloading as well as method overriding is clear. Now let's understand about static binding and dynamic binding in Java. So guys, let's understand what is static binding and dynamic binding. So static binding is also known as early binding, and dynamic binding is also known as late binding. So when the type of object is determined at compile time, then that is known as static binding. Whereas if type of object is determined at runtime, then it is known as dynamic binding. So let's see this with an example. Let me delete this and let me create both the methods as static. This method is also static. Now since my both the methods are static, and if I create instance of animal class and type of object is of cat class, and if I call this method sound, now if I run this and let's see what will be the output of this. So it is printing this is animal sound because my method is static and it knows that it cannot be overridden if instance is created of animal class. Whereas if I remove the static and now run the same function, then let's see what will be the output. Now if you see, it is printing this is cat sound. So here in this case it is being determined at runtime that which function is being called. this is known as basically a dynamic binding, whereas in earlier case where we are using both static methods, then at compile time only it is being decided that which method should be called. That is known as static binding. There is other way also wherein you can achieve polymorphism with some keywords such as super. So we have created separate video already for that. So I hope everything is clear with regards to polymorphism. If you still have any doubt, you can mention in comment section. Thank you.